Hello, welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us today for our webinar on GDPR compliance with Vtiger's Privacy Guard and an introduction to inventory add-on using Vtiger. We are your hosts today. We will be taking you a tour with Vtiger's features and benefits to your clients. Please allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sumalata. I'm your host today. I'm handling product marketing, retention, and training. I'm glad to meet all our partners here. A warm welcome to everyone. And I'm joined by several of my colleagues from sales, support, and the product team. And they are standby waiting to answer any of your questions. During the course of the webinar, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to raise the question at question panel. Or if you think the question later, please email us at support@vtiger.com. Don't worry if you have missed out something during the webinar. We will be sending you the recorded link after the session. Let's move on to our agenda today. We are going to cover Vtiger Privacy Guard by Suma, that is Sumalata, myself. And we are learning how Vtiger helps your clients comply with GDPR. And we'll be knowing a lot about consents, that is seeking consents from your contacts, and encryption, how does it help. Also, we will be followed with the inventory add-on introduction by Harsha. He will show you how to optimize inventory management using Vtiger. The detailed agenda that includes a quick overview of GDPR, benefits of Vtiger, consents, the double opt-in mechanisms, encryption of sensitive data, all those concepts. Then let's jump into GDPR Act. What is GDPR and why is it important to your clients? We know that GDPR is General Data Protection Regulation, commonly known as GDPR, is a set of data privacy rules that replaced a previous law called the Data Protection Directive and is aimed at harmonizing rules across the 28-nation EU bloc. GDPR rule was enacted on May 25, 2018 that will affect every company that uses personal data from EU citizens. If you're a 5-person business or a 500-person company, or if you are collecting emails or send emails to subscribers in the EU, you will have to comply with GDPR no matter where you are based. GDPR is even a concern for your customers outside of the EU. The aim is to give the rights to customers and control their personal data collected by companies. Not only will it affect organizations located within the EU, but it will also apply to companies outside the region if they offer goods or services or track data or want to use their data for business purpose. So the fine for non-compliant companies is huge. That goes as high as 20 million euros or 4% of your annual revenue, whichever is bigger. What are the 8 rights that GDPR regulation demands to comply with? Well, people have the right to know what data you store about them, right to obtain a copy of it from you, to withdraw consent to your use of their data, or to have it deleted. So customers can ask for copies for their data for reusing it across different services. And basically, GDPR touches several aspects of email marketing, especially how marketers see, collect, and record consent. Getting into more detail that whenever you ask for someone's personal information, you must disclose how the information will be used. The best reason for using someone's personal data is with their consent. This talks about personal information. So how can you categorize? So any data that can identify you, that's your name, phone number, IP address, and location, and also sensitive information such as sexual orientation, health data, political opinion, credit card number, national ID number, and so on. GDPR gives organization the guidelines on what they can and cannot do with personal data, giving more clarity over the kind of data being used and how companies will use it. All right. I hope I conveyed the idea on GDPR rules and the impact on every business that deal with EU customers. I talk about enabling consent and how to apply the rules of GDPR. Let's talk about how can we solve all the issues. Suppose someone wants to comply with GDPR. So here is a Vtiger Privacy Guard to the rescue. So here I would like to talk about introducing Vtiger Privacy Guard that enables the consent process with a clean and efficient way in handling customers' consent with their data privacy. Vtiger Privacy Guard has a feature that allows to encrypt sensitive data about a person whenever possible. As you know, sharing it with third parties is prohibited without consent, and also sensitive data such as credit card number and so on that cannot be shared at all to someone, right? So you need to decide which part of your processing hinge on consent. So if you can't operate without consent, then that's not the right basis for that activity. The feature I would like to talk about Vtiger Privacy Guard, this has a lot of advantages over here. So you can avoid penalties and you can gain trust from your contact, and you can also be quite transparent, right? The feature available in Ultimate Editions for free. Starter and Professional can buy it for $4 per user per month, and that is available on the extension store. You can install that. Some of the additional help that Vtiger Privacy Guard that assists you getting into having tight security with disk level encryption, automate the request collection, and use of consents from leads and contacts. And also you can get the double opt-in mechanism easily done with the email marketing, and you can audit user access, and also modification of the encrypted data can be traced out very efficiently. Before we actually jump into the product, I would like to show a few screenshots of the product that are captured to have an idea and can relate with GDPR compliance rules as we discussed earlier. I'll just go for different screens. We have simple design. It's not that complicated, so it is easy to use. And some more benefits of Vtiger's consent module is you can know if you can have consent to store and use data. You can keep a record of when and from where the consent was granted, and also see consents from selected contacts. Say you can set conditions such as say countries from specific area, so you can set conditions as and how you want. This is one of the screen I would like to show you to store specific data, to seek the consent from the contact that I will be seeking a permission from you that I'm doing all the activities, and please grant me the permission. This is to use specific data. This is consent to use data for tracking purpose, so we can track. And this is for request confirmation, how the double opt-in works. So that is also an important topic that I'm going to cover, and also the encryption part. So the activity is done, can be seen here easily on the screen that you can go through. I'll take you to the product. Let me go back to my screen. Just give me a moment. So here I will go to my instance here. This is the instance I've logged in right now. I'll take you to the product and demonstrate how the configurations are made to seek consent from your contacts. And also I will be demonstrating how the encryption is done, and also show you how to get double opt-in from the contacts. All right. The first step is to log in with your instance. Our intention is to get double opt-in first from the contact. This will work without installing the consent module. We call it as consent module when we install Vtiger Privacy Guard. Then the purpose is to ensure that the contact is ready to accept the newsletters or marketing emails from the sender. I'll show you how. All right, this is my instance. I go to my contact. Right now I've created 3 contacts. I'll just go on to my first contact here. Click on details, scroll down. Okay, this is contact opted out. I tried just to show you that this is one of the state, email opt-in state, that I'm going to tell you and explain how this is activated or deactivated. Let us move back to one more record. This is a record. Go to detail sections and scroll down. Right now, the request has not been sent. It's on none state. You can see here the meaning, the user opted out, or you'll get into double opt-in, single opt-in, all those status. So if you accidentally happen to send an email to you customer without double opt-in, you may burn your hands. So it's better to have a double confirmation from the contact so that you will be able to send emails. All right. So that is why you need to send a request confirmation email. So click request confirmation. This is the email ID. This is a dummy email ID right now I've taken as a contact. I will be heading towards the email ID of the customer. What can you see on the screen? So this will prompt you. That is the contact to confirm on your subscription to email marketing. This is the page we see, initial stage. So this is the preference page. Okay. So here he needs to confirm my subscription. So this means that he's ready to accept the emails coming from the sender side. Go back to your inbox. All right, this is one of the things I would like to share. Going back to CRM, just reload, scroll down. You can see the status changed from none to double opt-in. I would like to talk about what are the opt-in types. We find multiple opt-in types here. So we have a lot of status coming up here ahead. When it is in a none state, so here whenever you create a new contact, the status will be into none. And when it is a single opt-in user, that will be set by your users from the contact record, all right? And when it is single opt-in, say the contact comes from a web form, so that will be set by Vtiger when the contact submits a web form, but the email marketing checkbox will be selected. And double opt-in, that will be set by Vtiger when the contact clicks the double opt-in email link. So just now I demonstrated how does it work. And there is an option opted out, say contact opted out, so that will be set by Vtiger when the contact unsubscribes from the email preference page. All right, and you can manually change the email opt-in field value between none to single opt-in user or opted out at any time. All right, now I have shown about double opt-in mechanism. So when I want to talk about what happens when he unsubscribes or he will truncate certain permissions. So let us go back to the inbox that we had been earlier. We are here on the inbox. So you need to confirm on the saved preference. The user is 2000D is the email. I got the email. So let us go back here and I just mark this as never send me any email. Click on save. Your activities are confirmed over here. I'm sorry, I paused the screen. I was not that aware. All right, so just go to unsubscribe and enable this and click on save. This is the email. So go back to your inbox, then click on the applied status. Click apply my recently saved preferences. On doing so, this will confirm double time on how you can disable the permission, and you are agreeing on the activities that you have changed. All right, now going back to the record, I will just reload the record. So you can see that the contact opted out. So when he says unsubscribe and never send any email, so this is how the activity will be triggered and the contact will be opted out from sending any further emails. All right. So this is for a single contact that you can seek double opt-in. Likewise, you can also create a marketing list and you can get on mass double opt-in permission. Now, let us go back to consent module. I'll show how to install and get it configured. Click on extension store. So you can see for Privacy Guard, Vtiger Privacy Guard, as of now, I have already installed. The moment you click on install, that will prompt you to the consent module that is installed. So you need to go to settings and scroll down. You can see here the consent module, click on it. Here you can see the preference page. You can set the email settings, set the server type to send email. So here in the email settings page, the page depends on the leads and contacts having unique primary email IDs, and you need to approve for the same. So in order to have unique records, right, you need to maintain unique records. So this is the reason, because we can avoid accidental sending of emails that can be controlled actually. Suppose say the contact is from EU region, so this will be a precaution that will be taking you to have a control, keeping an unique email ID. As you scroll down, you can see a lot of fields over here. Consent to store specific data, and on the right top you can see consent notification settings. All right, you can also see add CRM field. What does this mean? And consent for tracking purpose. The concept I would like to talk before, what is the advantage of if you set your server type as Vtiger, right? So by doing this, the advantage is that you can track bounced emails and opens, and the Vtiger server will allow you to send emails from any verified email address, and customer replies will be falling into different addresses as per your settings. As you scroll down, before clicking the CRM field, so here we can see consent on the fields, and we can seek permission or inform the contact that we are tracking email engagement, we are tracking document engagement, and the sender side will be notified if the contact prompts you to stop processing request, and he may prompt you to have the data erasure request. So as we discussed, I hope you recall about GDPR 8 rights, that he has the rights to erasure request, stop processing request, track document engagement, that to stop or he can enable, or to stop email engagement track, or you can enable that as well. This is how you can do. You can set everything to all contacts right now, because I want to show it to all contacts and inform them. Meanwhile, you can also set a condition here. I want to share to or inform to contacts that if the contact mailing city equals say EU region, so I would like to inform them that I'm going to track email engagement. So you can also try this. Once you're done with the settings, click on save. What about the right top setting, consent notification settings? Click on it. Here this talks about notifying contacts when they match conditions for a few consent to change in their profile. Say I have done some modifications or updates, or any emails that I want to send or seek consent for. All the update sections will be notified to the customer once sent daily at 10 a.m. or you can change the privacy policy. And here we have set into, sent Friday at 3 p.m. All right, if you enable, you can add certain conditions as well. Similarly, the region equals EU, because you need to be very much conscious about the regions, EU customers as well. This is all about I would like to say. I will click on save. Consent notification settings have been saved. Now I will go to contact record. Let us go back to creating the contact record. All right, now I would like to talk about Mark personally identifying field. So I'll go to contact. You can just click on customize and check for context fields. All right. Right now, I have marked mobile phone as personally identifying. So click on edit. So you can see here personally identifying. This talks about if it is personally identifying, then we need to seek consent from the contact. I'll click on save. All right. Let's go to contact. A contact we need to seek double opt-in. I hope this is known to you right now. So we titled 3001. So inbox to 3001. Let us go back to the inbox that contains 3001. I'll close this. This is unnecessary. So this is the same process. Confirm my subscription. All right. So go back and reload the record as we did earlier. So you can just see it's double opt-in right now. I go to the inbox, and here you have preference page. Click on it. The intention is to enable the grant consent. All right. Enable tracking engagement. This is the page that is appearing when you enable consent module. Earlier, I hope you remember why the screen was appearing before without consent. So this was for double opt-in that works without installing consent module. Let us click on save. This means that the contact is ready. So as you could see that mail, I would show an example, apply my recently saved preference page. So this is the format that will appear into your inbox once if you have done any changes, either enable or disable permission from the contact side. Also, I would like to talk about data encryption as well. So we covered the double opt-in mechanism. We are talking about consents module, how to enable, disable consents, seek permissions. All right. In between, after this, I'll be showing how you can encrypt a field that is more important. Let us go back here. There is another method I would like to inform. So here, when you click the top 3 dots, you can also proceed with this obtain consent. All right. This will also take 3 minutes to fall into email. So when you click over here, email, so right now it is not yet sent. We need to wait. This mail will prompt the contact that you need to review your consent. So this page is similar to the earlier page which I have shown. There he can enable or disable the fields that can be traced or not. So if you click on it, you can see it is still queued. So here is a small icon you can see. Click on it. Now I will talk about detail sections. Reload the record again. So as you scroll down, this is the page you see, the consents page. So here, whatever the activities that are done, so you can see here applicable. So this was a track my email engagement activity. We can also disable or enable. This is the page when you go back to your CRM. And you can observe that consent requested, yes. Here, whatever the activity is done by the contact are into applicable right now. The activity was done, that is reflected here. So he is ready to allow you to track email engagement. So it is saying applicable. All right, this is the page you see as you scroll down the record. So the advantage is that you can see all the details in one page. This is how it works. We have received a mail. So this is the mail talking about what are the activities that you perform that will be confirmed, double confirmed that are you sure you won't go into it. So I click on proceed. This is the mail from the contact. Don't get confused over it. All right. This is contact email ID, personal email ID. All right. So I have confirmed on this now. Go to contact and reload. Go to details section again, scroll down and look at the activities. You can see the permissions, track my document engagement is granted, consent for mobile phone is granted. Now let us look at the activity where the contact will object, or he says that I do not want to get it traced or stop processing request or data request. So once I do data erasure request or stop processing, the contact record will be blocked from processing further, and the contact will not be able to receive any mail. We have obtained the consent for mobile phone, as you see, that I marked as private, personally identifying. Let us go back to the inbox right now, the same preference page. Click on unsubscribe, and I say stop using my data. So this will prompt you again. So we need to confirm again for the email to happen. So let's watch if it takes more time to load due to network issues, I guess. Okay, go back to your inbox. Hope so. All right, we have got the email here. So this is the latest, 0 minutes ago. So that will also keep an update. All right, so it's confirmed. Go back to your contact and reload. Get back and see that your contact record is closed and it will not be processed further. So this is the right that the contact asked for. So this is how we can comply with GDPR. So one more thing before I move to next topic, I want to talk about data encryption field. Click on menu and click on contacts that you want to create. So click on customize, and here you can create a field that is of type text. All right. So I'm going to click add a custom field over here. So I would like to say national ID number 8. So here maximum characters I will add up here. So you can observe that you have encrypt field here, right? So click on it and type encrypt, then proceed. This will prompt you to block how many characters and how many characters should be visible. So I would like to have first 2 characters to be visible here, and last 3 characters. I click on save. All right, go to contact record again. So I go to this contact record, and here go to detail section and click on national ID number. Okay, right now this record is closed. I can reopen it again. Scroll down. Here, Control F, fine for this. So I would like to add some national ID number and click on save. You can see that your data is encrypted right now. And you can also see who is tracking this. So this is encrypted right now. So if I click on this, so this will prompt you, do you want to reveal this field? So this is with the internal thing where somebody opens the encrypted field, and there will be a track of who opens. That you can see in update sections here, scroll up and click on the right. So here, the administrator updated national ID number. So this was encrypted, and somebody else decrypted, that is me, admin. So you can also assign on the profile role where they can be able to either see or have access to that particular encrypted field, or we can block them as well. All right, this is what I wanted to talk about. Then going back to our data erasure request. As you can see that where this is the email ID of the contact record. So when he says stop using my data, then he did not grant the permission. So this is how the lock and unlock record is a thing which we were talking about while we were setting in the consent setting page. So this will intimate the customer saying that your record has been locked. You can also change preference however you want. Coming back to the unsubscribe, so your record is locked, so you can prompt for erase my data, then you can click on it. So this is also successful. Go back to your inbox, tick the same thing. Hope so we will get the changes here. Once this is done, the record will be erased. I hope I convey the concept behind the GDPR and the Vtiger Privacy Guard. And I have here my colleague Harsha. He will be taking on to inventory add-on. And thank you so much. For any queries, please keep on chat. My friends are online. They will help you out. Thank you. Harsha?
Thank you, Suma. Hello, everyone. This is Harsha from Vtiger. Just give me 1 minute. I'll make myself as a presenter.
So I hope you guys can see my screen. I'm Harsha. I work as a CRM coach at Vtiger. I've been with Vtiger for more than 5 years. So today I'm going to demonstrate how inventory add-on works in Vtiger, why we have developed it.
So yeah. So why inventory add-on? If inventory management is a big part of, let's say, one of your client's business, then this inventory add-on is for you, because in using Vtiger inventory management modules, you can actually streamline the inventory process. So the old Vtiger version had modules like purchase order and sales order, where you can you had the confirmed orders captured under sales orders, and the orders which you placed for your vendors are captured under purchase orders. But now with this inventory add-on, we have introduced some new modules like delivery note, receipt note, and bills, to make sure even the partial shipments and partial receipts of receipt of goods can be captured properly in Vtiger itself. So let's see how these new modules will fit into the inventory management flow of Vtiger CRM. So this is how it looks. So under purchase order, you can create multiple receipt notes for a partial receipt of goods. And you can also create bills. Bills are nothing but the invoices which you pay for your vendors. So even that can be tracked under Vtiger. So, and when you're adding receipt notes, based on the receipt note, whatever stock you add in the receipt note, the stock of the actual product gets adjusted. So we'll see that in the demo of the product. And similarly for sales order, you can have multiple delivery notes added to it, and based on which the stock gets reduced. Okay, so now let's dive into the demo of the product. Okay. So first thing, you need to install the inventory add-on from the extension store. From here. And to give a heads up, inventory add-on is available in sales premium as well as ultimate editions. And you can see the pricing, it's $3 per user per month. Okay. So once you install the inventory add-on, you will see some extra modules appear under inventory section, like delivery note, receipt note, bills, etc. So now let's take a critical example, or like a quick example of a company which sells projectors or audio video equipment, right? So and let's say there is a customer for them called Dylan and Co, and they have ordered for like 200 projectors. So the inventory manager or warehouse manager will go to the sales order here and add the sales order for 300 projectors, but they have agreed to ship only 150 projectors at a time. So there will be 2 deliveries of 1 order. So I can link this to the customer and override the address from the customer record and link the contact and set the status, let's say, to new. So the address is filled up. And the order is for 300 projectors to be shipped. So now I have the sales order ready. And now I'll go ahead and add a delivery note for 150 projectors. And before doing this, I would like to show the existing stock of this particular quantity. So right now there are 475 projectors in the warehouse, right? And I'm going to create a delivery note for dispatching 150 projectors. Okay. And the scheduled delivery is for 150 projectors. And save. So now we have the delivery note for 150 projectors on an order of 300 projectors. And when you're ready to dispatch this particular like 150 projectors to your customers, you can change the status of this delivery note to delivered. Or when you have dispatched, you can change the status of this delivery note to delivered. And save. So now the product stock should be reduced. Yeah, you can see the stock got reduced from 475 to 325. Okay. And if you go to the parent sales order of the delivery note, the status will be changed or set automatically to partially delivered. Now, if we add one more delivery note of 150 projectors, let's see what happens if I add one more delivery note of 150 projectors, right? So if I add this, add one more delivery note of 150 projectors, now the order will be complete. So this is a delivery note 2 of 150 projectors. And let's say I'm directly setting the status of this to delivered and save. So now if I go to this sales order, you can see the status is fully delivered. So based on the item stock which you mention in the delivery note and based on the status of the delivery notes, even the status of the sales order gets changed automatically. So that's on how sales orders and delivery notes are linked, and how the order processing on the sales side works. So now let's go to the purchase process. So when you buy the goods from your vendors, you create purchase orders. So here I'm going to add a purchase order for let's say 100 projectors from a vendor called Jobs and Co. Okay, and it's asking me to copy the address from the vendor record itself. So I did that, and I'm creating a new PO. So I am creating a purchase order now to show you how the purchase orders and the receipt notes are linked in Vtiger, and even how you can create the bills, right? So here under purchase orders, I'm ordering 100 projectors from my vendor. So you can also notice the list price is different, which is 70, which is the price at which I buy from my vendors. And the actual price which I sell at is different, which is let's say $100. So that's how it is. And save. Oh, please give me a minute. I think, yeah, there is a duplicate check enabled on my instance on vendor name and due date. I'm disabling it. Now I should be able to save the record. Yeah, got it. So now let's go to the receipt notes. And let's say you're receiving out of 100 which you have ordered, let's say you're receiving 50 uh, from your vendor. So I'll add receipt note of 50 projectors. I'm going to receive 50. And yeah, and you can see in the outstanding is showing up as 50. And save. So one more thing to remember is whenever you add a delivery note to a sales order or a receipt note to a purchase order, automatically the status of the respective purchase order or sales order will be locked. And you need to work only on the receipt notes or delivery notes. Okay. So now I have ordered 100 and I have added a receipt note of 50. And now if I go back to my product record and check the stock, it's 175. So now if I change the status of this receipt note from open to received, the product stock should change automatically. Yeah. Okay. And it's the same, similarly like we have in uh, under invoices. If you like, as you guys are already familiar, we have a module called invoices where you can charge your customers and keep track of those under invoices, like what are the items they bought from you and all those things. So similarly, we have something called bills for purchase orders. So this is to keep track of your the amount you're paying for your vendors. So generally, the parent record for a bill is going to be a purchase order. So if I open one purchase order, under that you can have multiple bills added. Okay. And when I try to add a bill for this particular purchase order, it brings the item details from the purchase order to this bill. So here you can adjust. Let's say you're paying only for 50, or let's say 30 under first bill. You can adjust it. And save. So under this bill, I have a grand total of 2,667. I haven't paid anything because just like for invoices, you can add payments to track to track how much you have paid. You can add payment records even for bills. So for adding payments, first let me install the module called payments from the extension store. Yeah. Yeah. So now I have payments here. So let's say for the bill of 2,667, I'm making the complete payment of 2,667, or let's say I'm making the payment of $2,500. And save. So now you can see in the same bill, the amount that has been paid has been updated to 2500 and the balance is updated to 167. So this is how you can create bills for purchase orders and track the payments you're making for each bill separately as well. So that's on inventory add-on. I hope I have conveyed whatever information which I have for me. And one more new enhancement we are going to do in future is to add more fields to the product record to track what is the order, what is the quantity confirmed from the sales orders, to freeze that quantity, as well as what is the quantity that the quantity that has been created from purchase orders. So these two fields we are going to add. We'll share more details about this in our next webinars. Oh, I forgot to mention, even credit notes is part of inventory add-on. Credit notes is generally a module where you can track the list of all the damaged items returned to your warehouse. So that's credit notes. And you can also process the amount. Like for example, a damaged item has cost $100 for the customer. You can track, okay, we have returned $100 to the customer. So that's credit notes. And that's part of inventory add-on as well. So thank you for listening. I hope you have enjoyed the presentation. And if you have any questions, you can let us know.